You know, I was sitting around thinking about the direction I've gone and watching a friend play the first Gears of War, and it got me wondering, when did this mechanic start to show up? Was it Gears that gave us the first cover mechanic? Was it really that clean from the start? Because in my personal experience, these kinds of systems rarely start off with this kind of polish that you see in this game. So I started doing some digging into cover mechanics in general and generally found sort of what I expected. So if you have a minute, kick back and stay a while as we go into cover shooters and how Gears of War shined a light on them for better or for worse. Now, some of the early cover-based games include popular games like the Time Crisis series. This, for most of you who don't know, was a light gun game that had a pedal. This pedal allowed you to pop out of cover, fire, then release it so you could go back under the safety of your cover. The nice thing about this is it helped make the title stand out. The downside about the system is all you could do is stay behind cover. You couldn't blind fire or fire out of cover after all. I mean, it's just a light gun game, realistically. This wouldn't be the only game to use a system like this. Police 911 would use this as well. However, this one, it would actually use an infrared system to detect the player's movement, which honestly, having just discovered that, definitely means it goes on my to-do list as far as videos later. But these aren't the kind of cover systems we actually want to dig into today, at least not too deeply. So let's change gears a bit. Get it? Gears? Fine, I'll just have to find myself funny. Moving on. In 1998, Metal Gear Solid would release, allowing players to use cover by pressing up behind walls, but not necessarily fire from them. Winback, another game, would take this a step further by allowing you not only to take cover behind crates and walls, but pop out and shoot from them. These kinds of mechanics would actually make the games feel a bit more realistic than just running and gunning or ducking behind a wall. Not that ducking behind a wall didn't work, but being able to see your character looking like he or she was actively using the available cover was an important step in immersion, and in the case of Winback, allowed you a more narrow profile while shooting. Now, a few years later, a game named Killswitch would come out. Released in 2003 by Namco, this changed the third-person cover mechanics. No longer were you stuck just hugging a wall or having to pop out and shoot. Now you could take cover behind a wide array of objects, and better yet, you could blind fire over those objects. Something no other game to my knowledge had allowed you to do before. Now we had a cover system that we're actually used to. The game itself was pretty well received as well, getting mostly positive reviews and being lauded for its cover system and engaging gameplay, but being a bit downplayed due to its simple level design, at least according to some of the reviews I found. Now, it would however inspire future games. Cliff Bleszinski would actually come up with a game released in 2006 called Gears of War. This was another game built from the ground up using available cover. The core mechanic almost wholly depended on effective use of this kind of mechanic in order to stay alive against the Locust Horde. The production value in this game was much higher than Killswitch, and its unique weapons along with the not so well-known cover system that was implemented in Killswitch, which Cliff admitted was inspired by that game itself, won many a fan. In fact, one of the lead designers of Killswitch, Chris Esaki? I think I pronounced that right, guys, I'm sorry. Was working at Epic and on the Gears of War project team at the time of its development. So it's really no surprise that not only did it use Killswitch mechanics, but made the entire experience feel far more clean and natural than it had ever done before. It didn't take long for more games like this to come out using the now popular mechanic, Uncharted being one that used it in almost exactly the same way as Gears of War, but changing things up by making the game more about exploration and treasure hunting at the same time. However, what do you guys think of this one? Are you a fan of this mechanic, or do you think it restricts games too much? If you like it, what's your favorite game series or game specifically that uses it? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, if you don't mind, please leave this video a like. Also, if you see more of my content you like, consider following the channel. That really helps me out a ton. Until we meet again though, have a great rest of your day and happy gaming.